Big chance for some teams to have a bit of a cup run on their hands, as of course some little clubs take on some of the big boys. We've got the latest round of picks, of course the results coming up in the Calamata Cup. Let's get into it. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video today. We're looking forward to the Calamata Cup second round, and of course we're going to take a little look, I think, at the north section. That's right. Of course, in another video we're going to take a look at the south, but right here, right now, we're going to jump in the deep end and have a little look in the north. But of course, before all that, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the patrons, and if you are new, check out the links down below: Twitter, Facebook, and of course Patreon as well. Your one-stop shop for League Cup, Rovers, whatever you want to call it, right here under one Rooski. That's right, boys and girls. So let's get cracking. Of course, recap some of the games. Of course, there's a load of games in the League Cup, and of course we do have a live action prediction league, so I'll tell you all about that as we get cracking. So these are, of course, the results for the northern section first round. Of course, we did see the end of Blackburn Rovers, of course, cup run, which of course was just a shambles. So let's kick it off with the first one. Nobody get any points for this one. Of course, it was Sheffield Wednesday up against Huddersfield. That was, of course, decided prior to the video. Next, of course, Hartlepool took on Crewe, Alexandra, and they what did they do on this one? They won. Sorry, no, Crewe won 1-0 on the day. A 1-0 win was my pick. I got it wrong. Meanwhile, Derby County squeezed by Salford Archer with a 2 win, but I'm claiming my penalty win as a point as well. Shrewsbury Town also squeezed through on penalties 2-2 against Lincoln. I went with a 2-0 win myself. Mansfield, of course, did lose to Preston at the North End 3-0 on the night, and one and only win so far for Preston. Of course, 2-1 win was my pick as well. Of course, Sunderland squeaked through as well, 2-1 over Port Vale. 2-0 win was my pick. Sheffield United also getting through as well with a 1-0 win over Carlisle. I went with a 3-0 win as well. Had to get though past Spone. Of course, we have to revisit that. I think they forfeited it, in fact, so we went in favour of Rochdale, but I've just voided it, I think. So no one gets a point on that one. Stoke against Fleetwood. That was a 2-1 win for Stoke, 2-0 win for me, not too shabby there. Walsall also went out. Doncaster through, 1-0 win on the night. 1-0 win was my pick. 0-0 was the final score, but penalties pushed Doncaster through. Oldham also squeezed past Tranmere Rovers 2-2 in the end. I was showing the 2-1 win, so not too shabby there. Rotherham, though, upset me by losing to Accrington Stanley 2-1 on the night. 2-0 win was for me, but of course got that one wrong. Meanwhile, Barrow squeezed by Scunthorpe, got the one bang on the nose, 1-0 win. Hull City also crashed out. Wigan went through with a 1-1 draw. Penalties, of course, the deciding factor. 2-1 win is for me. I did go with Rovers, shambles, we're not talking about that. Bolton 0-0 winners on penalties as well, squeaking by Barnsley. A 2-1 win was my pick, not too shabby. Blackpool also squeezed by Middlesbrough 3-0, 2-0 win was my pick. And I did go with Bradford City, but of course they lost. Of course, not enough for us to go through. But as you can see, got myself 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 out of bloody whatever it is. Ain't too shabby now. This, I'm going to do a bit of a spoiler. Of course, I have the southern section. I didn't do that well, but let's take a look at how you guys got on then, shall we? Of course, there you go. Of course, this is just for the north section. Tomorrow, or later on today, actually, I will show you the south section. Again, just that one. And eventually, when we become one joint round, that's when I'll combine the scores. So they both count. If you put predictions for the north and the south, they'll eventually combine. But for right here, right now, this is just the north predictions. Of course, Max Ngardi's up there with 14. Not too bad. Twilso's up there with, of course, 13. JSPCS are great. Is up there with 12 alongside Shepard as well, so not too shabby in the top 3 there. Of course, I'm in there as well with 12 or something, so not too shabby indeed, just for the north. Remember that, just for the north. But let's have a look at, of course, match number 2 if you want to get involved with it. This is the link, of course, Calamata North number 2. Of course, the QR code is there as well, live and active, so make sure you get involved with that. Again, keep your name as is. Of course, you'll be in good shape. So let's get cracking then, shall we? Alrighty then, boys and girls, let's take a look at, of course, the second round matches in the north section. Of course, kicking it off with the top one, which is Oldham up against Accrington Stanley. That's right. These two sides will be looking horns coming on. What day is it? According to my brain, it's a little bit rusty at the moment. It's going to take place on the 24th of August. That's right. I played each other 7 times in 2004. 3 wins for Accrington, 2 wins for Oldham. We've got 2 draws. The biggest win for Oldham over Accrington was a 3-2 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-0 win. That is correct. Of course, last time I played each other over in Oldham was a 3-0 win for Accrington in the, whatever that was, Football League Trophy something back in October 2019. Now, I don't have actually any odds for this game, but I've got odds on either of these sides, 2 sides winning the trophy. Both of them coming at you at 500 to 1, so they're both absolute long shots. And of course, they're going to be probably. It's a good opportunity for both of these 2 sides to have a good cup run at least. Get past this one. Of course, we'll potentially have a big boy waiting for you in the next round. For me, though, I'm going to go with a Oldham win on this one. Of course, that means a win for the League 2 side over League 1 as well. So, of course, a big win for them, big scout maybe, and of course, a chance to get themselves a lucrative round in the next round. Next, of course, we have Wigan against Bolton. Of course, now this used to be a big crunch clash over in the Championship and even in the Premier League. Played each other 24 times since 2005. 8 wins for Wigan, 7 wins for Bolton, and 9 draws, of course. They are actually both in League One at the moment, so they'll be redoing this rivalry quite condensively this time around. Biggest win for Wigan over Bolton was a 5-2 win. The biggest win the other way was a 4-0 win. Last time up Wigan was in fact that 5-2 win. It wasn't the Championship, it was back in March 2019. Again, I don't have many odds on this one, but Wigan are actually 300-1. So are Bolton. So of course, two sides, very long shots, but of course much stronger than the likes of Oldham and not Accrington Stanley to go a little bit further in the competition than they imagine. Again, a good chance for them to get a lucrative tie in the next round, but I'm going to go with a win for Wigan on this one, 2 to win, to keep their dreams alive of maybe another late cup run. Of course, familiar FA Cup winners not too long ago. Let's get into the next one then, shall we? Is Huddersfield up against Everton. Of course, not too long ago this was a Premier League match, but of course not this time. Of course, they meet in the Carabao Cup. And not the greatest start of the season and domestically for Huddersfield. Of course, Everton did open up with a win as of recording. Of course, this might go out after the second match. Anyway, the pressure, they're just 5 times in 2010. 4 wins at Everton, 1 draw, nothing for, of course, Huddersfield. 67% form heading into this. That's for Everton. 42% form heading into this. That is, of course, Huddersfield Town. Last time pressure at Huddersfield was a 1-0 win for Everton. That was back in January 2019. Huddersfield are long shots on this one. They're down 150-1 to lift the trophy at the end. Everton are going to be much higher up there. In fact, 80-1. This is Rafa Benitez. He could win this one and could have been a bit of a billing to Everton's name. I'm going to go with a win for Everton. Last one, 3-1 win. I don't believe in the Huddersfield project at the moment. I think they're in a bit of a rut and they'll need a result to get themselves moving in the right direction. Next, of course, we have Sheffield United up against Derby County. Let's take a look at this one. This will take place also on the same match day, of course. Same kickoff as well. Played each other 24 times since 1994. 12 wins for Sheffield United, 9 wins for Derby County. 3 draws. The biggest win for either two sides over each other was a 2-0 win each. Of course, coming into this, of course, last time over at Bramall Lane was a 3-1 win in the Championship back in December 2018. Derby, a bit ropey-dopey at the moment. We just don't know what they're going to get. But, of course, they've been grinding out the results. But I don't think they'll get anything out of this one. 2-0 win. Sheffield United also shitty in the league at the moment. But, of course, they'll bounce back with a 2-0 win. On this one, next up, of course, we have Stoke. That's right, up against Doncaster Rovers. In fact, I'll just give you the odds for Sheffield United to go. This is 100-1 for them. Derby, 150-1. That's, of course, puts it into a bit more perspective then. Shall we? Next, of course, we have Stoke. They're going to be taking on Doncaster Rovers. Now, this could be a bit of a banana skin here, but I think Stoke have started off the season pretty well. Those are just 1 time 2016, 1 win for Stoke over Doncaster. Of course, that 1-0 win was in the FA Cup, perhaps back in the round of the third round. It was a 2-1 win for Stoke back in the Keepmoat Stadium. Of course, not the greatest start for Doncaster in the League One. Of course, 33% form heading into this. As for Stoke, 67% form without a defeat in at least 5. That's across all games, all divisions, all that kind of stuff. I'll look at the odds on them to pick up the trophy. Of course, Stoke are down there 100-1. Doncaster much longer shots than that. They're down there at 500-1. So big scalp if they can pick off this win for Doncaster Rovers. I don't think they're going to do it though. I think Stoke are looking good, well organised at the moment. Michael O'Neill, of course, one-man job this time around, and of course he's started to look the real deal over in the Championship. Next, of course, Shrewsbury up against Rochdale. Let's get into this one. Then, of course, Shrewsbury, not the greatest start for them over in League One. I've got up against Rochdale, not the greatest start for them over in League Two. Of course, played 25 times since 2003. 13 wins for Rochdale, 7 wins for Shrewsbury, 5 draws. The biggest win for Shrewsbury over Rochdale was a 3-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 4-0 win. Last time played each other over in Shrewsbury was a 2-1 win for Rochdale. That was in League One. Of course, heading into this, not the greatest form for Shrewsbury. What are they looking at? They're looking at 33% form, just 1 win in the past 4. Meanwhile, 1 win in the past 4 also for Rochdale, with a 42% form for them. Look at the odds on them as well to go the distance. Rochdale 750-1. Shrewsbury is 500-1. So they are favourites to get at least past Rochdale. And again, another chance for them to get a lucrative tie into the next stage. So I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Shrewsbury on this one. And again, move the chains for them, of course. Who will they get, of course, in the next stage? Next, of course, we have Nottingham Forest taking on, of course, Wolves, of course. A couple of big boys, traditional clubs for these. Played each other 26 times in 1993. 6 wins for Forest, 12 wins for Wolves, 8 draws, of course. Not the greatest start for Wolves at the moment over the Premier League, but of course not the greatest start either for Forest in the domestic top flight in the Championship, of course. The biggest win for Forest over Wolves, 3-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 5-1 win. Last time played over at the City Ground was a 2-1 win for Wolves in the Championship back in September 2017. Again, the odds for these guys, not Forest, are looking at much 100-1 for them. Wolves are up there at 40-1. So again, you would anticipate them to beat them, but I think Forest are going to nick this one. 3-2 win. Surprise. There's always a couple of surprises in the Cops, and I think that one's got it written all over it. We might have another one right here. Of course, Morecambe up against Preston. Of course, the Giant Killers, the whatevers. Of course, knocking out Rovers. Of course, played each other 8 times since 2007. 7 wins for Preston, Preston, 1 win for Morecambe, and no draws. Of course, the biggest win for Morecambe over Preston was that one and only 2-1 win. Meanwhile, the biggest win the other was a 5-1 win. Of course, not the greatest start for Preston over in the Championship. Of course, just 1 win in the past 5 games, 6 games across the board. That wasn't the Canada Cup. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat in the past 6 for Morecambe heading into this. Last night pleasure over in Morecambe was a 2 win for Preston. That was a friendly. Last night pleasure in competitive action was a 4-2 win back in 2012 in favour of Preston as well. Again, there is some surprises on this one. Preston coming at you. Odds on them at the moment. I'm trying to find them. They must be around about here. Stab in the dark. Don't know. But Morecambe coming at you 500-1. Preston must be there 200-1. I think Morecambe will nick this one. 1-0 win again. Continue the dream. They have got the bit between the teeth. They like winning at the moment. So, of course, I think they'll nick another one. Next up, of course, Blackpool up against Sunderland, of course. It is the Championship up against League One. They've played each other, according to my knowledge, 7 times since 2010. 3 wins for Blackpool, 2 wins for Sunderland, 2 draws. The biggest win for Blackpool over Sunderland was 2-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 1-0 win. Last night, Bluefield Rovers was a 1-0 win. For Blackpool, odds on them, Sunderland 250-1. Blackpool are actually 200-1. Slight favourites on this. I've got a penalty win for Sunderland to go through into the bigger boys. Maybe they'll get the Geordies in the next day. We'll have to see. They've got to get past Burnley first. Next up, of course, we have Leeds United up against Crewe Alexandra. Let's get into this one. Of course, wasn't too long ago. This was in League One. Played each other 8 times in 2004. 4 was the Leeds. 2 was for Crewe. 2 draws. The biggest win for Leeds over Crewe was a 5-2 win. The biggest win the other way was a 2-0 win. Last time played each other over in Alamo was a 5-2 win in League One. Of course, back in 2008. Of course, 1-2. Last time Crewe won was back in 2005 in the Championship. Wow. Bookies odds on this one. Leeds will be one of the favourites, I think, up there. 20-1. Crewe want to be the long shots on this down the bottom there. I'm looking for you. I can't find you at the moment. Crewe Alexandra, there you are. 501 long shots. Leeds will smash this one. They'll probably play the kids as well. 3-0 win, and they'll go through to the next stage. Barrow up against Aston Villa. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Of course, taking place on the same day. Of course, they've never played each other, according to my knowledge. It'll be the first time. Of course, coming into this, 42% form for Barrow. Unbeaten the last 3, picking up 2 wins and a draw to boot. Aston Villa, 2 wins and 2 defeats in the past 4 games. Of course, started off with a loss against Watford. Of course, prior to that was a lot of Mickey Mouse games, so don't really care. Aston Barrow, they of course started off okay in League 2. 1-1 loss, 1 draw, and also beat Scunthorpe as well to get through to the next stage. Barrow commence share 1,001 on this one. Aston Villa will be up there around about 25-1. There could be a bit of money on this one, but I'm going to go with the 3-0 win for Aston Villa to smash it, to take it to the house. And then finally, a bit of a zinger at the end here. All Premier League affair is Newcastle up against Burnley on Wednesday night. Played the 10 times in 2014. 4 wins for the Geordies, 2 for the Six Finger. Freak as always, that's right, 4 draws as well. The biggest win for the Geordies over the Burnley, of course, was a 3-1 win. The biggest win the other way was a 1-0 win. Last time I played at St James's Park was a 3-1 win, going in favour of the Geordies as well. The bookies odds on this one. Newcastle coming at you at around about 50-1. Burnley are actually 66-1, so the Geordies are favourite. However, I'm actually going to go with Burnley on this one, believe it or not. I don't really back the Freaks, but I'm going to give them 2 on this one. 2-1 win in the end, boys and girls. Again, if you want to get involved, use the old link right here. Of course, it is for the second round of the Canterbury North. It is, of course, Cutley/Canterbury North number 2. That's it, boys and girls. Be sure to give the video some love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribes. Of course, check out the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, of course, Patreon as well. Make sure you check that out. But again, get your picks in using the link. But until then, I'll see you soon. Of course, make sure you check out the South section to keep your scores up there. But until then, I'll see you soon. And